Hello everyone. Today we will be continuing the same chapter named as Respiration in Organisms. So there is a term which is called as breathing. What does it mean? So breathing is basically it's a combination of two steps. One is inhalation and the other one is exhalation. Okay, so breathing is the combination of inhalation and exhalation, in which during inhalation we take in oxygen and during exhalation we give out carbon dioxide. So we can say that the process of taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide is called as breathing. Now there is another term which is called as breathing rate. Now let us see what is it. So it is number of times a person takes and breathe in a minute. Okay, a person breathes in a minute. That is called as breathing rate. Okay, it means the time span we take in 1 minute of time span, how much time are we breathing, that is called as breathing rate. And one breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. This one inhalation and one exhalation together makes one breath. If you only inhale and you don't exhale, it doesn't say that it is one breath. Okay. So when we talk about one breath, when we calculate one breath, it is one inhalation plus one exhalation. Okay. And on an average, an adult human being at rest breathes in and out 15 to 18 times in a minute. In 1 minute, an adult, healthy, normal human being breathes for 15 to 18 times in 1 minute. And this is the normal breathing rate of an adult human being. Okay, so this is what is called as breathing rate. Now let us see the process of respiration in humans in more detail. So when we inhale, the air passes through our nostrils into the nasal cavity. Okay, and from nasal cavity, the air reaches our lungs through pharynx. Our lungs are present in the chest cavity. This cavity is surrounded by ribs on the sides and large muscular sheath called diaphragm forms the floor of the chest cavity. So basically breathing involves movement of rib cage and diaphragm. So let us see the movement of rib cage. So here in this video you can see this is the movement of rib cage. Okay, this is how the rib cage moves. When you inhale, it expands, and when you exhale, it contracts. Okay, so during inhalation, ribs move up and increase the space in our chest cavity, and during exhalation, ribs move down and inwards and reduces the size of chest cavity. So this is the movement of rib cage. Now let us see the movement of diaphragm. In this video, you can see how the diaphragm, the larger part you can see, the larger pink muscular part below the lungs is the diaphragm, and you can see how it is moving when the inhalation and exhalation is taking place. Okay, so basically we can say that during inhalation diaphragm moves out, that which means the diaphragm becomes flat, and when the diaphragm becomes flat, it increases the surface area of the lungs and we can inhale more air. And whereas when we talk about exhalation, the diaphragm moves inside, it reduces inside. Okay, and it is going to push the air backward. Okay, and that is the reason how our air during exhalation the air comes out. Okay, so this is how movement of diaphragm also helps in breathing. Now there's a question that do we exhale only carbon dioxide when we are exhaling out? Is it so that, like for example, when we inhale, it's not just oxygen which is going inside our mouth or inside our respiratory system. Okay, there are mixture of gases which is present in the air, and when we inhale all these gases with dust particles and all inside. Okay, so when we exhale, is it so that only carbon dioxide is exhaled out? So obviously the answer is no. Okay, because we exhale mixture of gases, from which mainly there are two gases, that is carbon dioxide and oxygen. Okay, so during inhalation or inhaled air, it consists of 0.04% of carbon dioxide and 21% of oxygen. And when we exhale it out, so this exhaled air consists of 4.4% of carbon dioxide and 16.4% of oxygen. So it's not so that we are only exhaling carbon dioxide, at the same time we are exhaling a big amount of oxygen as well in the air. Okay, so inhalation consists of less amount of carbon dioxide and more amount of oxygen. At the same time, when we talk about exhalation, we are giving less amount of carbon dioxide compared to that of oxygen. But it shows us that inhaled air is also a mixture of gases, as well as exhaled air is also mixture of gases. Okay, now let us see some facts about respiration or breathing. Okay, so sneezing expels the foreign particles from the inhaled air. Now, how is it possible? So, the air around us, it has various types of unwanted particles like smoke, dust, etc. So, when we inhale it, these particles, they get trapped in the hair inside our nose because of the hair which are present in our nose or the nasal cavity. Now what happens, these particles, if they pass the hair, or else for example if there would be no presence of hair in our nasal cavity or nose, so these particles might have went directly in our respiratory system and damaged our respiratory system. So to protect our respiratory system, we have these hairs. Now these hairs are going to trap it, and they are going to keep it with them, right? And until and unless these particles are there in the are trapped in the air, in the hair inside of a nose, it may create irritation to the lining of these nasal cavity, and because of which, as a result of this, we might have sensation of sneezing or feeling irritated or itching inside our nose, right? And by this, sneezing expels these all foreign particles like dust, smoke, and these kind of particles which are present or which are trapped in the hair, by the hair in our nasal cavity. And when we sneeze, it ultimately cleans out our nose. Okay, so and also we should take care that when we sneeze, we should cover our nose with some hanky or something, so that the foreign particles, they should not get exposed to other people. Okay, so this was one of the fact. And the other is breathe for a better life. Like, we need to breathe very properly so that we get a better life. As much as proper your breathing is, that much healthy your life is. Okay, so how is it so when you do yoga or pranayam, what happens is you take deep breaths, and when you take deep breaths, you take in more oxygen. The amount of oxygen which enters to your body is more, and when you hold that breath inside, what happens, the oxygen gets time to supply or to get absorbed in the respiratory tract or respiratory system. And then when we exhale, so the exhalation of the amount of oxygen which is exhaled is comparatively less when we talk about normal breathing and breathing during this pranayam or yoga. Okay, so we should regularly do exercise which increases the capacity of lungs to take more air, which means more oxygen. So by these, we are going to lead to a healthy life. Now there is other question, that is, do other animals also have same type of respiration or same breathing way? Is it so that we respire in the same way? If we talk about dogs or earthworms or cockroaches, the way of breathing in them and human, is it same or not? So let us see this in our next video. Till then, take care of yourself and keep doing exercise so that you lead a healthy life. Thank you, everyone.